Hi everyone, and in today's video we will be covering chapter 5, Patterns of Social Inequality and Exclusion of class 12 Sociology. Today we will be covering the topic social exclusion. So social exclusion refers to ways in which individuals may become cut off from full involvement in the wider society. What does this mean? It means that some people are left out from participating fully in society. They don't have access to things which most people take for granted, for example, jobs, schools, hospitals, banks, legal help, etc. So they are cut off. There is a full involvement. Let's say there's a party going on, everyone is enjoying, but some people, they are just neglected, that you can't participate, you cannot party with us. So they are cut off from this involvement, right? Some individuals, they are cut off from the full involvement. That is your social exclusion. They are excluded socially. Okay, so the ways in which the individuals, the main key terms that you need to remember here and which you have to write in your examination is cut off, full involvement, wider society. These three terms should be there in your definition. Okay, it focuses on attention on a broad range of factors which prevents the individuals from having opportunities open to the majority of the population. So majority of the population is definitely having the access, they are taking the opportunities for granted as well. And here they are left out from the mainstream, the majority, in the social sense as well, in the economic sense as well, in the political sense as well. They are left out, they are cut off from the mainstream. And in order to live a full and active life, they must not only be able to feed, clothe and house themselves, but they should also have the access to essential goods and services such as education, health, transportation, insurance, social security, banking. So it is not just necessary that you have food or you have clothes and house, but apart from this, in order to live a productive life, to have a good standard of living, education, health, transportation, banking, security, all of these things are required in order to live a good life. It is not important that you are given. So when I am talking about house, there are camps which are given to poor people, right? They may be given food, but are we able to use them properly? As in, they are just becoming a liability for the economy. To turn them into the asset or to be an asset for themselves as well, these opportunities should be given to them. It is very, very important. Also, one more thing, social exclusion, it is not accidental but it is systematic. Social exclusion is not accidental. It is not by chance. It is planned. Sochi samjhi sajish. It is planned, it is repeated, and it is built into the system. It is not by chance is what this line means. Example, generations of tribal communities are denied access to good education. And so it is the result of the structural features of society. India, like most societies, has been marked by acute practices of social discrimination and exclusion. At different periods of history, protest movements arose against caste, gender and religious discrimination, but still prejudice remains often and nuance emerge. The legislation alone is not able to transform the society, or it can produce lasting social change. If you have just given a law, you cannot discriminate. If you will discriminate, you will have to give a penalty. That is not enough. That is definitely not enough to transform the society or to change their minds. A constant social campaign is required to change them. Means laws alone cannot end exclusion. We need mass awareness, we need public support, we need compassion to truly change the society, to break this entire system. What you need mass awareness, public support and compassion. These things are required if you want to actually change the society, because law is not enough. It is not enough. And you already have read the impact of colonialism on Indian society, and what discrimination and exclusion was brought home to even the most privileged Indians. So these experiences were common to various socially discriminated groups like women, Dalit, oppressed castes and tribes. And in this chapter, we are particularly focusing on Dalits, or the ex-untouchable castes, tribal, women, and differently abled. So we will be covering these groups in chapter ahead. So here, now you would ask me, how is discrimination and social exclusion different? Let's just try to relate it from the topic we've already studied. Okay, so when we talk about discrimination, we covered that it was the action in the sense that there was actually the unfair treatment which was given on certain individuals, and this unfair treatment was based on prejudice, right? For example, not hiring a Muslim. Whereas social exclusion, when we are talking about, it is the total denial of participation. You are not at all allowing the individual to participate in society. Like the tribal people, they were not given voting rights in the past, and they were denied hospitals or banks. So this is a main idea of the difference between discrimination and social exclusion. Here it is also mentioned that even the most privileged Indians at the hands of the British colonial state, means British rule also excluded Indians from the political power, from jobs, from dignity, and it affected everyone, but more to Dalits, tribals, and women. So the key message here is that exclusion is not random, and it is built into how society works. So changing it needs public education, social reforms, social movements, legal reform, social sensitivity. Okay, so social exclusion is the systematic blocking of people or groups from full social participation. It is systematic, means it is the part of the structure of society, and it is not a one-time mistake. What is the solution? Needs more than laws, awareness, mass support, and campaigns. In your activity 5.2 here, you have to collect examples of prejudiced behavior from films or novels. So the examples you can use here is a movie where a poor student is mocked in a rich school, because here you have to collect what? Prejudiced behavior. Poor people are considered what and how they are mocked, or a novel wherein the women are denied education, or a story where a lower caste hero is not allowed in the temple. And what questions you need to discuss here is, was it intentional or unconscious? Did it portray the group as less capable, bad, or funny? And would it hurt someone in real life? I need the answers to these questions in the comment section. Also, this chapter is mentioning about the transgender people and those identifying as third gender. They also face exclusion, and these groups are increasingly being recognized now, but the struggle is still ongoing. Now, a bonus tip. If in exam the question asks what is social exclusion and how is it different from discrimination, please note down what you need to write. Social exclusion refers to the ways in which individuals or groups are denied full participation in the social, economic, and political life of society. It is not accidental but systematic. While discrimination is about unfair treatment, exclusion blocks access entirely and requires broader social change to fix. Now that was all for this video. We will see you in the next video covering this particular topic. Thank you.